Okay, welcome to another demo with Portworx. Today we're going to focus on OpenShift Virtualization and having Portworx Enterprise and PX Backup provide backup and restore for virtual machines in OpenShift. Here we have a VM and we're going to get into its console here. You can see we have one file which we'll be working out of to show the state. Here we can see from the CLI, we can log into that console using virtctl, specify the virtual machine image, and log in to the VM. In this case, it's a Fedora 31 VM. Here we can add some text to the file. So what we'll do is we'll add some text to this file, we'll take a backup, and we'll add more text to this file and restore and make sure we have the original data. So here we have adding data to a file, which is what we're going to back up. So there's some data in a file inside our VM using Portworx storage in OpenShift. Here in PX Backup, we can go to the namespace that the VM is running. In this case, I'm just using the OpenShift CNV namespace, and there's a number of different VMs running, but we can select the tag which associates all of our VM resources. In this case, it's VM ASGG. And this will back up all necessary information about our VM, including the root disk that it's using. So give your backup a name and select the backup location and click Create. PX Backup will now back up all the resources as well as the data associated with that VM and upload it to the backup location, in this case, an S3 object store. You can see there's one PX volume, which is our root disk for that VM, and all the other resources which are included with that VM. So now we're going to log back into this VM and add some more data to the file, essentially making this file out of date with the backup, but we're going to restore to our original state. So here we can see we have 2 lines to our file. Now we have to simulate some kind of failure or something like that as well. So we can go back to the OpenShift console and look at the details of the VM in the YAML. Here we're just showing that the persistent volume claim Fedora disk 0 holds our data. So we're going to make sure and delete this VM as well as the data. So here we go, delete the VM and head over to the persistent volume claims and delete the Fedora disk 0. So this is, a case where maybe someone deleted your VM and the data associated with it. So now we can head back to PX Backup and select our backup for restore. Select restore, give the restore a name, and select the OpenShift cluster you want to restore to. In this case, it's the same one. It's going to give you a list of things it's going to restore. We just want to make sure it restores anything that's missing, so we're just going to click Create. So the restore becomes in progress, and it will eventually restore the volume as well as all the resources. And we can watch the OpenShift UI here to see when the VM comes back online. Here you can see the VM is starting again, which means our restore finished and applied the resources. If we refresh real quick, we'll see that the one volume and the resources are restored. It's a partial success because it's only fixing what was missing, what was deleted. So now we can see that VM is starting back up and our persistent volume claim that we deleted is back. And that holds all our data for our VM. So back to the VM list here, the VM's running, we could go to the console and the VM will need to finish booting up. Once it's finished booting up, we can go back to our terminal window and log back into the VM. Now we should see our file that we had before and look at the data within it. And it says adding data to a file. So that was our original backup. So this is the expected outcome. We successfully restored our version of our VM from the state at which we backed it up. And you can apply schedules to make this more consistent. I hope this was useful. And until next time, take care.